I am T.S. Nagabharana, talking to you from Bengaluru. I am a theatre worker and I welcome you all to this Chai-Wai RangManch, a theatre talk. Namaskar. I am T.S. Nagabharana, talking to you from Bengaluru. I am a theatre worker working in Kannada theatre. I welcome you all to Chai-Wai RangManch. It's nice that in this COVID situation something is happening in theatre. At least we are talking, we are reacting to each other. And after about a 30 minutes talk, I think we can go for question and answer, if there is any question and answer. Because I am a student of theatre even now, today also. And I want to learn more, which I used to tell to my guru, Baba Karant, D.V. Karant. I am his disciple. From 1969 till demise, I was working with him in theatre and cinema, television, light and sound, all those areas of visual media. And I also worked with Prema Karant in children theatre for about 25 years. Working with children, it was a fantastic experience for me. So with this, the background which I started my theatre in 1969 under the guidance of Baba Karant, I want to discuss some issues with you, which I want to start off. First, I will start with my shloka, which I usually do in my theatre shows and rehearsals. We used to do this. Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvavangmayam aharyam chandrataradi tam vande satvikam shivam. This shloka of Nandikeshwara from Abhinaya Dharpana in 3rd century, I think that will give you a definition of a total actor for us. With this, I think any sensitivity and sensibility are the major resources to develop theatre acting. I accept that. Dear friends, when I started working with Baba Karant in 1969, when he was touring all over India to find a national theatre movement, I was behind him. And I was finding it very interesting also, because I am from a village near Mysore, wherein my grandfather, he used to perform a mrudanga type of thing, maddale, a percussion instrument, and he was very famous with that, and he used to accomplish all the yakshagana and bailatas which they used to do. And another grandfather of mine was a very good yakshagana artist and also a gamaki, an orator of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So they used to individually perform and also collectively they used to do. And I joined them with a boy who is carrying a screen for their characters' entries. So I started my career with my grandfathers. But when Karant was searching his national theatre all over India, At one point, he mentioned to me that unless and otherwise the regional theatre strengthens itself, there is no national theatre. India has to be represented by its regional languages and regional culture, and each theatre, it must evolve in that only. So I struck to my Karnataka and started working in that sense of responsibility. Even when I was working in children theatre, it was like a game. We used to play. Even in our folk theatre, in our village, we call that as Ata. Ata means game. So theatre was a game, a play, wherein everybody will be involved in it. And we used to share each other. As in a game, we used to share everything to one another. And that's how the children theatre, when it was evolved with Prema Karant, when I was working with her, even though both of them were trained in NSD, and when they came out and when they took in charge of these theatres, we were lucky enough, especially the Kannada theatre workers, those who were of 1970 onwards, they were very lucky that Karant and Prema Karant were here to facilitate us so that we can do and learn so much of theatre through them. There was no model, but the model was created. And whatever we call it as national theatre, today I personally feel each language, whether it is Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Gujarati, Marathi, each language is a national theatre itself. It was such a fantastic feel that from one corner to another corner of India, the theatre was called as a unifying spirit. That is the unity in diversity. So we connect each other with our cultural ethos through this. So that's where the national theatre comes into form. It has got identity. Indian theatre has got identity. That identity is with that particular each language and each culture. Wherever we are, we have produced beautiful plays, fantastic images, and valued with human resources till today. So I must, while talking to you people, I must tell what is that we have to do now, especially when the COVID situation is there. What is the future of performing arts? They have let the earlier theatre enthusiasts, they have left a beautiful legacy for us. They have given us a fantastic knowledge, and their experience has put us into such a perspective in which we can share our experience which they had, and through that we can evolve a new kind of theatre which is very much needed today. For me, I think today's theatre workers must make a U-turn. They must take a U-turn now. For example, Samskrita Rangabhumi or folk theatre in which Yakshagana and Bailata were there, how much of theatre we worked out. We know today we have got lot of other school of drama, like lot of other thoughts which have formed, and there are a lot of other areas in which theatre has been interpreted in a different way also. But for me, Samskrita Rangabhumi, Sanskrit theatre has given a fantastic model. For example, in which actor was important. So actor, he has to create everything. So he makes a round and comes back and says, I am in Udyanavana. So I am in a park. So automatically the imaginary park is in front of our. So we wise And we used to perform. The Sanskrit plays were like that, and actors were made very important in that. And the same thing happens in the Desi culture, that is Yakshagana and Bailata culture also. I think we have to revisit that kind of approach again, like giving importance to actors. We were lost. We are lost with very big theatres, very big stages, lot of stage material, set material, costume, makeup, all those kind of things, lighting or paraphernalia which we use now. And today, I think the COVID has questioned all that, saying that, look, you have to believe in yourself. You believe in yourself. Don't rely, don't be a paravalambi. Don't rely on that, this. Even today, I always see when there is a function of Ganapati or anything like that, in the small pendal where the stage is fixed, that stage is enough to play, to enact, to communicate. So this concept of poor theatre, which is there, I think we have to go. Abundance of available material may not be useful for us. We have to be very cost effective also. So we have to have the earlier methodologies which they have all crossed and they left for us as a legacy to be reinterpreted, revisited, and through that I think we had to create our own intimate theatres. Create a fantastic area of reach, especially in theatre, when once we start working in intimate theatres, mini halls, small halls. In some of the one-man shows, for example, it is the culture of Harikathas, Pandwanis, all those kind of things, which evolved a one-man show on the stage. Today, we may have to do that kind of experiments. So, one-man shows, wherein from Harikatha to today, actor is the supreme. His space, his time, his exploration, his imagination, his improvisation, they have got effective methods so that we can reach what you wanted to reach. Today, I think there are performers, but not actors. There is a difference between a performer and an actor. Performer, he comes on the stage and he knows what is the pulse of the artist, the viewers, and he starts playing with them, and he makes everything reachable for them, for their taste. An actor doesn't. He gets into the role. He gets into the part where he has to see the text and subtext of the plot, and somehow he gets into that, gives life to that, and what he wants to communicate, he communicates to the viewer. He is an actor. I think in that way, I think there are a lot of performers today. There are very few actors today, which I always say that the future of performing arts, lies in the interdisciplinary and understanding. It is between interdisciplinary in which way we have to work out. So we have to work with pradarshak and prekshak, and stage and auditorium, and individual art and collective art. He is ekangi, but at the same time he is a sangajivi. He is also a bhavajivi and also a yantrajivi, like what we are doing now. So this is what is happening. So today we are using a device. We are using a device to communicate, to use as part of it. But it is yantrajivi. It cannot give you the bhavajivi. So we have to have a theatre of usefulness, wherein you can reach with your individual skills. So today's theatre education. It has been spread to all over world, all over India, especially in Karnataka, all over Karnataka. There is a lot of people, those who have come from NSD and the other repertories and others. So they are very, very good at experimenting plays. But how much of them are just relying on their strength only? Very less of them. All of them has to either somewhere they have to get into a corporate system or get into a government system so that they will get some help. This is again a problem for us. The theatre needs self-reliance. It must stand on its own. Earlier, our professional theatre was like that, but it died a very bad death because of its own problems. And as we know, the other medias, whether it is cinema, television, and now the digital media, I think they have to be supporting to each other. Unless and otherwise, each one supports the other, it will not sustain. Today, what is happening? It is exploiting each other. So, all theatre actors, they get into cinema or television and they get a better life and better payment or anything like that. But at the same time, they lose the belief in theatre. They will never come back. So, a lot of them have not come back. Only few of them have come back. So, theatre needs a committed band of workers, those who can really serve in theatre only. That's what Baba Karant used to tell us, that you must be in theatre. Whatever may be your achievements here and there, whether you will make a lot of films, lot of national awards or whatever it is, but you have to stick to theatre. That's what we did. I think today's theatre needs that kind of committed workers, especially those who can turn our stage into social counseling platforms. I think somewhere here we have to accept that it has to be a social counseling platforms. Somehow it has to become a moral boosting component. It is a moral boosting component. It is not that the theatre must go on questioning everything, go on questioning the life itself. We believe in tomorrow. So somehow we have to believe in ourselves. There has to be a belief system. That belief system has to be evolved through theatre. So only to calm down whatever today's anguish is there, and to create something happy in their mind or something believable for tomorrow, I think the moral boosting has to be the component of the content which we are doing here afterwards, from here afterwards. And somewhere the negative thinking has to go. The theatre must have that positive approach, somewhere or the other, that tomorrow is there for me and I will face it and I will win over it. I am there for other human elements. So somewhere these positive elements has to be embedded in their mindset, and a new discipline between a performer and a viewer. It is not just masking the viewers or safe distance. More than that, there has to be a discipline so that the viewer and the artist must have a platform in which they can start communicating. There is a rasaswada which they can get, and that's how they have to be. And more than that, and I must tell you a story of Bharata's sons and daughters, because how they were cursed. I know each and every actor, when once he is on the stage, the applauses and the credibilities and everything, he is so overwhelmed with that. And he is the number one, Superman there. But when once he comes out of the stage, he is common to common. He is less than a common man. That is what the essence of Bharatana Bharata's children's story says in the first century itself. After the Samudra Manthan, when Bharata performed his play, it was called as Panchama Veda, and everybody started praising him. And his sons and daughters got overwhelmed, egoistic, and they started behaving very crude. And the other rishis and munis, after they couldn't comply with him, they cursed them, saying that you will be outcast. You will be outcast. You have to live an outcast. This is what is happening today. All those who became famous on the stage, somewhere they will be treated as outcasts. So we have to we must know that we are part and parcel of a common man. And we are presenting part and parcel of every ambitions, every aspirations, every emotions of them only. So we have to be much more less than a common man to achieve that. So these are my small talk which I wanted to tell you. And especially in COVID situation, we have to revisit our earlier place and the legendary place which we have produced. Now it has to be actor empowering system. Unless and otherwise we empower the actors, we may not be able to have a small theatre or small group in which we have to reach. It doesn't mean that big groups and big theatres will not be sustaining. It might be. It might happen. So we may open up again with lot of this thing. So let us have small theatres, small groups, and each apartments, each areas will have a small theatre, a small hall. It can become a small theatre, and an actor will perform and enlighten us so that we can come to that. As far as the education in theatre is concerned, I think we have to take a much better responsibility in education and employment of theatre persons. Unless and otherwise they are provided with much better facilities, it will be very, very difficult for them to survive. So today's survival is only because of the other medias like cinema, television, and all various other things. But theatre is the one which rejuvenates you. So when it rejuvenates, then only you can go on recreating things. So you can become Srujanashil only when you are rejuvenated. Otherwise you will become static. Theatre is not a static thing. It is a continuous continuity. It is a nirantarata. So it will continuously go. It moves. So whatever our ancestors have done, we have followed it. We have used it. And now the next generation has to have that continuity with these elements into their mind. So somewhere, whether it is government or corporate bodies or more than that, the public, they must also have a responsibility to help these theatre performances. Today, especially in Bengaluru, we have to think of so many other avenues to rehearse, to produce, to show. Very few theatres are there, very few rehearsal halls there, and very few people, those who can come to rehearsals and attend. Because of the enormity of the availability of space and time and money, we have been put into a corner. But today, I must confess that with all this, we are regular enough to continue B.V. Karn's 5 plays, which he designed and directed in 1972 onwards. Even today, we produce it, and today it will go houseful when once we announce it. That kind of repeat audiences are there, and audience are really helping us in there. So I request the theatre persons, television, cinema, and the digital platform in wholesome to work together. It must help each other so that it can keep the continuity continuously going on in theatre. I want to end up with B.V. Karan's one example that in these medias he used to say, a human, especially in cinema, a man becomes a superman. He is shown as a superman, more than life size. That is cinema. Whereas television, the man looks like a small puppet. So he is miniatured. In the television, he comes into a corner of a house. Whereas only in theatre, human will look like a human. So that kind of humanness, it is only in theatre. So we have to have this theatre movement in continuity forever, whether it is COVID or not after COVID or no COVID. We have to find new avenues, new approaches, and somehow come out of this epidemic and come out of this thought process with our own experiments. I know we can do that kind of experiments. We have done it. I myself have acted in 2 one-man shows, and which is very successful enough. And in a way, I'm not just propagating only one-man shows. In a way, I'm thinking aloud the other ways of approaching the theatre today. Whether it is right or wrong, I don't know. With my little experience and with my little area in which I have worked from last 40 years, 45 years, I think we are able to continue with this kind of experiments, and we are very happy to note that we have got our own audience. We have built our own audiences. That is also very much necessary. So each troupe, especially I was listening to other those who gave the talk earlier, fantastic actors, fantastic theatre personalities. So they are all inspiring. So today, with these little elements around us, I think I can go for some of the important questions, if there is any questions. I just wanted to tell one thing, that in ancient Greek, only 2 professions were given tax-free. Look at that. The one is a doctor and another one is an actor. Why? Because doctor takes care of the physical responsibilities, all those problems, whereas actor takes care of the mental problems. So see the ancient Greeks' approach. I think that kind of need is today's need and need of the hour, and future performing arts has to be viewed in a different way. And today, as you all know, that the information technology and biotechnology has paved into another algorithm, where you can see that robots are coming, and artificial intelligence is getting into our life. And I think somewhere we have to be on with them also. So these artificial intelligence, it may help or it may not help us, but they are all on our way. They are all in our path. So we have to face each and every circumstances and come out of that. So the science, solution and solidarity, we have to go along with that. Science is there, we have to go along with that, and there is no other way. We have to find our own solutions for that, and we have to be together. That is the solidarity which we have to express together. And be healthy, be safe, take care, God bless, and let us go for some question and answers. Sagar Shahaji Kadam, working as president of Benaka Children Theatre, can you share your thoughts on how difficult to deal with children to educate them in theatre? Certainly. I must tell you about one of my experience with Prema Karanth when she was producing. Karanth was directing Alilu Ramayana. There was about 100 monkeys in the play. So I was in charge, I was assistant as well as stage manager. Each show, when it starts with 100 monkeys around, you think of that, we used to put all the monkey costume to them. It was a continuous process because once everybody enters, somebody will come, sir, it is here, it is not tear up, it is okay, it is not okay here, it's tight here. So everything we have to do, and they used to run. Practically, we are breathless when once the show is over. But the thumping reaction of the audience, and especially for Alilu Ramayana, it was fantastic. And with Karanth, we did Rabindranath Tagore's Ispit Rajya one, and another one Panjarashale. In both of that, I think children used to cry. When once the play is over, they never used to let away. They wanted to know what happened to that character, what happened to that parrot, what happened to that fellow, what happened to the Rajkumar. So that kind of continuity was there. So we used to take them all outside the stage and put them in front of them. So he is the one who acted in that. Nothing has happened to him. He is really good. Look at them, wave to them. So the children used to respond in such a way. I think we work in children theatre. That is the best part of learning theatre ever. So it is like, do you visualize education in theatre and children's theatre will sustain, appreciate your insights in the current and future context during the COVID? Absolutely. This is where we have to work hard. For example, education system needs visual tools. So the visual tools can be dramatized. It can be given in different way. I think this is where our theatre experts, theatre experiences will contribute. So you can go on contributing to them. I think children theatre, those who worked in children theatre will have a better choice, better chances, so that they can contribute to all the educational systems which are now coming up with online education. I think they need lot of your expertises. Most probably you can use that also, and you can also learn the technology behind it, and you can contribute to each other so that the education systems will use you. I think theatre, children theatre will be of much useful now. Sir, can you tell us about your play Hahata, which solo acted and directed by you? Directed by one of my friend Krishnamurti Kavatar, and I acted in it. And this was about the period of, it is Mahabharata's Duryodhana story, and Duryodhana brings a duplicate, Tadrupi. And the Tadrupi and Duryodhana, how the Tadrupi's problems comes out. So that is the play, written by H.S. Venkatesh Murthy, one of the major writers in Kannada. And that was very well crafted. Being one man on the stage about almost 2 hours. It was a very hectic job, but at the same time very energetic, enthusiastic performance. I used to enjoy each and every dialogue, each and every movement, and I rehearsed it for about 2 months continuously. And when once it was performed, I did about 25 shows. After that, I couldn't, because of my other film work and other things. I was not able to continue with it. But these kind of plays will give an actor a chance and a challenge. He has to face it and win over it. I think any actor has to, if he gets a chance to do that, he must try one such kind of solo performance, which will be to his memory and to his performance. I think it will be a very beautiful contribution. Earlier you did one-man show. Can you kindly? Yes, I did that. Do you have any favorite directors? he is the theatre genius behind me, the man who mentored me, and one who built Bharatiya Rangabhumi in a sense all over India. And he is the one. Why? Because he brought the Indian plays on the stage. Lot of them were influenced by the Western stages, especially Shakespeare and others, but none of them knew about a rural folklore or a rural Mahabharata or a rural Ramayana. And somewhere Karanji, Baba Karan brought those kinds on the stage, and especially in Hindi stage, he created a fantastic productions when he brought Shakespeare's Macbeth, Barnamwana. So those kind of plays are really inspiring plays for us, and he is the mentor, and I always I learned each and every aspect of theatre with Baba Karant. He is my favorite director, and more than that, I worked with so many other directors like B.M. Shah, Sai Paranjape, and Prema Karant, as I already told you. And in stage and light, I worked with V. Ramurthy, one of the first NSD past stage designer and lighting designer. I worked with him. So because of that, I was able to do a lot of light and sound programs all over Karnataka. Today, after Baba Karant, I think I am the one who is doing some light and sound work all over India now. Yes, sure. I will share those two one-man show plays to you. Yes, you have directed more than 36 plays. Which is most difficult direct as per you? Yes, there was lot of difficulties which I came across in each play, but one such play was when I was working for Nigi Konda Samsa as an actor. So the play was written in the morning, and the movements were designed in the evening, and next day morning I used to rehearse it so that it will be on stage. So that is the difficult part, in which the play was not written earlier. It went on improvising, and each time when the improvisation takes place, the movement used to change and the whole design used to change. So I used to memorize each and everything and rework on the whole thing. So I never slept during those periods. I think that was the very difficult time which I came across. Do you have a favorite play related to the Mahabharata? Favorite play? I think there is a lot of... I worked under... for a 15 days workshop which happened with Peter Brook Mahabharata in Bengaluru. So Karant was the in charge and I was put in to assist them. And I came to know that the interpretation of Mahabharata by Peter Brook was so fantastic that there was no... the stage was so empty. There was nothing on that except a bench. And slowly it created everything on that. So the way it was a replica of a Sanskrit theatre, that's what I always feel, because there was nothing on the stage, and when once the actors started coming in, everything starts mounting, and we used to have that kind of approach in that. I think Mahabharata can get into this. Dr. H.S. Venkatesh Murthy has written 2 plays with using Mahabharata in the background, and I think we can refer to those plays also. It is in Kannada, both of them. In your opinion, acting more challenging or is directing more challenging? I think both are in its own way are challenging. But I always prefer to direct rather than acting. But I became an inevitable actor. When Karant was directing, I was just assisting him. But during assisting, I used to, if there is an absentee, I used to be there. So each time there will be an absentee and I used to do his role, And slowly I used to know the whole play, and inevitably I became an actor, and inevitable actor became a perfect actor later on. So, especially directing is a much bigger challenge because he has to live in all the roles. I feel that is more responsible, and I always work like that because I am a film director also, with 37 films to my credit, out of which 10 national awards. So I prefer direction rather than acting. But inevitably, I also became an actor, and I love to act in theatre only. I very rarely go to cinema or rarely go to television to act. I always prefer to act in theatre. Yeah. I am a student of Karanji from NST 93 batch. Wow. Arvinder Kaur Bubbly. So nice of you. So Guru Parampara is continued. Nice of you. Sir, as a director, how do you prepare preparations before the performance? I think each actor, when he prepares himself, that is the system which is evolved. There's a model evolved by the gurus. For example, I orated that shloka in the beginning, no? So when once after the second bell, if the shloka is heard, each and every actor, wherever he is, he will become silent. He just goes near his wing, his entry, and starts concentrating on his character. That is the discipline which we have now, even today. So, wherever you are, whether you are doing the show in a jatra, or you are doing a show in a festival, or you are doing the show in a theatre, this discipline automatically emerges. That makes the actor to prepare himself before entering into the stage. The other preparations, according to the instinctive developments which happens on the stage, that is also very important, because when once the co-actors may do some bungling or anything like that, you don't know what is going to happen, but you perform, you come out of that. And when once you come out of the stage, then you say that, look, you did that, I did this. So that is theatre. That instinctive performance is required by the actor, and that's how it works out. And I think it has... I don't know why Peter Brook was crucified. Might be the interpretation might have, they might have not liked it, but I liked it, because the way it was evolving, that was theatre. I am from a folk theatre, I am from a poor theatre, and I don't have any big sets or big things around me, and I never had any property in my hand. So I have to create everything. So that's where Peter Brook's Mahabharata gave me insights. We did some of the Shakespearean plays like Hamlet, Macbeth, and all those plays, and especially King Lear, and narrated for Bhopal, King Lear. I was his assistant, and I worked when Rita Bachchan was there as third daughter. So I mean Rita Bhaduri, not Bachchan, Rita Bhaduri. So somewhere I think Shakespearean plays have been interpreted in so many other plays. The way the recent folk adoption of Shakespearean play Macbeth is a fantastic one in Kannada. So that kind of adoptions are more necessary, because you must make that play yours, in your language, in your culture, and to your people, so that the emotions are more towards the characters. I think in that way it has done a very good interpretations have come of Shakespeare. Even today it is coming, a lot of other plays. Sir, which stream is difficult to direct, live show or TV films? I think live shows that is very difficult to direct, because you have to anticipate so many things, you have to imagine so many things, you must come out with the answers to all of them and prepare them for that and make it live. And even when it goes haywire, you have to be ready with that, and that kind of instinctive energizing method, I think that is more challenging than any television show or anything like that. You have got lot of retakes, that this, and you can go back, come when there is a live show. I think which Indian play you like the most and why? I think Ratan Thiem has done that, and whenever there is Ratan Thiem's play which came to Bangalore, I was so eager to see those plays. And you believe it or not, the way he used the folk and what is that, martial arts and other things in a play, the more of physical actions were used in that. I used to enjoy that also. But today I think we have to have a balance of those things. As I already told you, Angika and Vachaka are very, very important today. So we have to give more importance to Vachaka also nowadays. I don't want, which is your next directing project? Would you like to perform in English language? I don't want to perform in English language, because it is like, as I am communicating to you, I am a very bad communicator in English. But with all that, the recent project which I directed is about Bengaluru Nagaratnamma, a classical Carnatic singer who was in Madras in 18th century, end and 19th century beginning. She was one of the icon of Carnatic musics, and she was the one who used to pay income tax to Britishers during that period. You just think of that character. I have done a play on that, and it was performed about in Chaudaya Hall about 6 months back in December and January, and it was a very good, well received by them, and I am reproducing it again. And I, as I told you in COVID, I think I have to rework on that Bengaluru Nagaratnamma with minimum actors. I can't use 40 actors on the stage now, so it has to be again reworked now. So it is another kind of experiment for me. Sir, what are your thoughts on using recorded music or live music in performance? Which do you prefer as director? I prefer live music. I don't know why. It is very difficult to have live music, I know. Very, very difficult to have live music, because the live musician may not be available, that kind of undertaking, all of them to all over, that is all difficult. But I always prefer live music, because live music is the one which is really gives you the life. It is alive. That gives life to the play. And I always feel that live music is a necessity, and it is better to use live music, unless and otherwise it is not permitted, or it is not useful, or it is not profitable, or something like that. Then only you have to think of other ways. Appreciate your invocation of your traditional sloka. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So nice of you. With all this talk, I think I have in the question and answer session, I think I opened up myself. Earlier to that, I think I had my own problem in putting up all the points together. But with your questions and answering to them, I think I have come alive now in theatre. And for me, there is no India without culture. And the intangible art is our theatre in India. So I request all of you people, hold the hands of artists. They will take care of culture. I think this soft power has to be used properly. Vishesh Vashisht, Namaskar, Tushara Moja, nice of you. When directing, do you use improvisation? Yes, yes. Each time, I think even before starting the show, there might be a small intake which you may have to pass to the actor. I think each day, my guru used to tell, each performance is an experiment on that day. Each performance. We have done Sattavara Nerulu show, about more than 600 shows. I've done a major role in that. But each time when I do, it is like a first time. And it is like an experiment again. I never expect the applause, and I never expect gasping. I don't know where it comes. But it comes in a different time gaps. It's not repetitive at all. So those kind of new appeals, a new way of taking the play, I think it makes you, each performance is each experiment. So each performance must go through the same feel, the same zeal and the same spirit as if I have done the first show. I am doing the first show. Sir, using the large sets in live performance, what are your thoughts on that? This is where I differ from some of the major directors. We don't need large sets. If we, then it is in a way it is an hindrance. We may not be able to commute. There is a lot of things which stopped. For example, our one of the major plays, I think Satyu sir has to forgive me for this, Romeo and Juliet, which we did in Rangashankara with Rangashankara. We were supposed to do about 25 shows of that, and the set design was so fantastic. When we did it in Rangashankara, it was a fantastic balcony, that is Romeo and Juliet, you know that. But everything was so strong because of the iron sets. And we were not able to take that and commute to another play like Mysore, Dharwad, anywhere. We couldn't take it up. We don't have the stage. We couldn't take up, and the play was stopped after about 25 shows. So I think we have to have. That's why I come back to Sanskrit theatre, saying that everything is created by the actors involved, and the Bhagavata or the Nati, the Sutradhara or the Sutradharini. So that kind of approach is very useful for poor theatres. I am not talking about the big theatres and big theatre groups which can afford to take it, which can afford to do everything. I think it matters, money matters there. Yeah. I think I got another 7 minutes time. We have talked so much, we have interacted so much, and hope my talk is useful to those who have come on the web page. I must congratulate and I must thank Chai-Wai and RangManch for this, because you are doing a fantastic thing. Theatre alive. Unless and otherwise, the discussions and through discussions and reaching people and coming out with new ideas, whether it is small or big one, we have to go on talking so that it will be of much useful. Your insights regarding black box or a minimalistic theatre, absolutely right. I saw it in Goa, black box productions. Fantastic. I think there the actor doing 2-3 roles. Only 4 actors were there and they were doing 2-3 roles together, and they communicated very precisely. I think we must acknowledge those kind of experiments. That if it can touch your heart and it can communicate to you the purpose of that play, I think that is the super thing which can happen. Been a very informative session, sir. Thank you. I thought enjoyed hearing from you. So nice of you. So nice of you, Anjali Ramchandra. Okay. Nice of you. Yes. I must. Are you practicing Hindi plays also? I am trying. I am trying Harvinder Kaur Babli. I am trying because I have produced a play on Baba Karan using his biopic, Illiralare. Using that biopic, I directed a Kannada play called Baba Karant. That play, I have asked all my actors to rehearse in Hindi. I translated it. I got it translated by one of our famous translator, and now I am approaching that. Baba Karant will be produced in Hindi with our actors only, not the Hindi belt. So somewhere I wanted to contribute and reach the Hindi belt with Baba Karan's play again. So I have done an experiment, and I am coming to all over India when once everything is over. I bring my Baba Karanta in Hindi to all of you. So nice of you. Thank you for your inspirations. Much appreciate your insights. Thank you, Tushar Raman Oza. Nice of you to acknowledge me. And as I already told you that I am a theatre worker, even now I am a theatre student of theatre, and I want to learn as much as possible. And once I took a oath that in 1 month I has to be on stage for twice, 2 days at least. So that's how our Benaka started producing 2 plays in each month. But somehow from last 4 months I am not able to go on the stage also. I am eagerly waiting to go to that Rangabhumi which I belong to. Yeah, I do thank Coconut Theatre and this Chai-Wai and RangManch platform. This is really an opportunity for me to express myself and to learn in another way, to know things in a better perspective. And somewhere I always feel that each language theatre is a national theatre. So somewhere you acknowledge that and bring all the language plays at one platform so that represents India. That is Bharatiya Rangabhumi. So we are in need of that, and we have to showcase that kind of thing so that somewhere in North he must know what is happening in Kannada theatre, and somewhere in Kannada theatre he must know what is happening in Punjab theatre. That kind of things which we started in Rangayana in Mysore, even today, even each year we are producing it national festivals there. I think that is the legacy given by Baba Karant to all the theatre lovers who are in close contact with theatre workers in Bengaluru, Mysuru and in Karnataka especially. So nice of you. Tushar, you can contact me. I share my number and email. Thank you, and I will get you my 2 scripts to you, which has to be translated according to your convenience. Hope we will go on talking on this like this, and let me have an opportunity to show my theatre work on stage to you at the earliest. I think COVID has given me an opportunity. It is a opportunity also. So it is a problem, and at the same time it is an opportunity. So let us face the challenge. Let us use it convert it as opportunities. Let's meet again, and let us work together for theatre for a longer time. And each one of us has to leave a legacy to the coming generation. I think they will love it. Only thing is, the coming generation must have the commitment for theatre. That is the request from my side. One who is committed to theatre, he must be really helping the nation and the language in a broader sense. So I request all of them to be committed to theatre, so that they can contribute more. So thank you, nice of you, all of you. Nice talking to you. I think it is 7. I have done my job, and I congratulate the team behind this purpose, Coconut Theatre and Chai-Wai RangManch, and those who contacted me especially for their timely guidances, and somehow I was able to reach you all people, especially those who are unknown to me. They are known to me now. So we are in one family, that is theatre family. Let us be in the family and take care of the family. Please take care of yourself. Be healthy, be safe, take care. God bless you. Namaskar.